Hi everybody, it's Michael from freshbelief.com, and today we have a special guest, a fellow Brit in the house. This is Ollie from Double Your Kindle Profits. Introduce yourself, Ollie, to everybody that doesn't know you.
What's up, everyone? I'm Ollie, fellow self-publisher, and my background is in copywriting. So I basically worked out how to use copywriting to increase your Kindle sales drastically. Long story short.
Okay, we'll just keep it short as that. So, so the first thing is, when you were publishing your books, what was it about the copywriting that finally made you say, this is the missing piece? What was that moment? How did it come about?
Well, what it was I published, it was 2 books, and this was right at the very start of self-publishing, and I just did whatever everyone else said, basically, of description doesn't matter, just put whatever you want in, let the writing company write the description, was the main one. Get that, you have the description which is the same as everyone else's, which is the amazing benefits of whatever your keyword is, and then they just list whatever's in the book. And I was like, no, this doesn't make any sense. Like this can't work like long term. And so all I did was apply like my copywriting knowledge. I was like, I could write like a really good book description here, and I can actually use these principles that I already knew to like differentiate my book from the others. And by doing that, it's just easy to separate yourself. And you can go into these really competitive keywords, and you can actually have like a unique angle for your book and a unique selling point, even in like saturated niches. And that's essentially what it is.
Yeah, that's like well, it's always like that, isn't it? It's every other book's the same. It's like when you look at, there's a guy in a blue shirt, red shirt, blue shirt. Oh, I remember that guy in the red shirt. It's like that little thing that makes it stand out. 100%, man.
That's all it is. Like, it's just standing out from everyone else.
Yeah. So would you say it's just the title? Well, without giving too much away from your course, but when you're looking at the book page, would you say it's it's the title or the cover that's the first thing that stands out to people?
Well, the title is obviously important because when people search the keyword, all they have to go off of is the title, the cover, and the number of reviews. Number of reviews you have less control over, but like the title and the cover is something you can control. Yeah. The cover I think is less important, just because like no one actually buys the book because of the cover. Yeah. But the title is absolutely key, because you're searching for, say, a weight loss book, and you're scrolling through and there's 50 beginner's guide to weight loss books. And then you have this other book which has like a completely unique angle and actually like speaks to one of your problems that you're having. Like it's a no-brainer. Like you're going to click on that book.
100%. Yeah. So no, like my opinion with that is, the title, like you say, is very important, but the cover, it needs to have something which makes it stand out, because if sometimes the cover, like some people are caught by the cover. What are your thoughts on that?
I think the main thing with the cover is actually the color contrast. Yeah. Like you said with the red shirt, blue shirt example, like it's the same thing. Like if everyone's got like a color with like a mild yellow kind of hue, then like you have a purple cover, like people's eyes are going to be drawn to that. Yeah. Like obviously in some niches there are like, you can't have a red cover because it has like bad connotations or bad vibes. Yeah. But with most niches, like just change the color of the cover itself, and like you'll grab someone's attention. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So then, how am I going to say this? Going into the book, how does them going from the title into the description? How does the description matter to selling your overall book?
Because these people, your customers, they've got so many questions, and they've got so many boxes they need ticked before they actually click that buy button. They're like, does this book address this problem that I have? Like, is this book going to be easy to read? Like, is the information going to be easy to follow? And like, you just have to reassure them in your description that that is indeed the case, as well as like sprinkling in some, curiosity, like, God, he's saying this. Like, oh, no other book's talking about this. I really need to know what's inside now.
Yeah, because I think what the thing that's been taught in a lot of courses is you just put the book out there in this keyword, make sure it's got enough reviews, and by a click of the finger, your book will sell. That's the kind of mindset that's been taught in quite a few courses.
Yeah, a lot of it is just like over reliance on keywords.
Yeah,
it's like if your keyword's good, the book's going to sell no matter what. But like, that just isn't the case.
No, well, it's
like,
I'd say with the amount of publishers that are coming in now, it's getting like really saturated, and you need something which is going to make you stand out, like you've just said. Yeah,
absolutely, because more publishers than ever, like with tools like Kindle Spy, KDP Rocket, like once a keyword becomes quote unquote profitable, everyone just rushes in. And so like you have to stand out. Like you can't just publish like, send your book off to one of the writing companies, write me a book on keto diet, for example. Yeah. And then everyone charges in with the same book, the same description. Like you have to stand out.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember a time when like, it was like a year ago or about 2 years ago, when reviews, they were still getting clamped down on, but they weren't as hard. And like I used to just like look at keywords like I think it was essential oils and ketogenic diet.
Essential oils, classic.
I just looked at them and I was just like, I went to the one published tab, and it was just like, what's new coming out? And then just this book that saves. And I was like, I'm not going to that niche. Hell no.
It's the same thing now, but just amplified.
Yeah.
More and more books.
It was like I was watching a video by D1 Bainey the other day, and this was made back in 2015. And the advice he gave it stands true today. It's like, if you've got a book which has like, let's say, I think it was like on some kind of diet, and it's like, okay, so this book has 20 and this book has 50. Why would I buy your book on 20 recipes for $2.99? But then he says, make something which really makes you stand out. And he's had this one book, which was like 365 days worth of recipes. And that one was 99 cents compared to $2.99. You're going to buy the 99-cent book because it really stands out amongst competition.
That's exactly what it is. Like, people aren't going to be able to compete with that book.
Unless they make something 10 times better.
Unless you get 2 years worth of recipes.
Man, yeah, that's a lot of recipes. So going reversing back and going back to your journey. So when you were creating your title, description, all that kind of stuff, with the first book, how did it actually change your book's sales after you changed it? What was the time length?
So this is probably between publishing like those first like couple of books, and then deciding like, okay, this isn't working. Like I have to start doing something differently. Like the growth was extremely quick. Like I think I went from $23 to $30 or something, and next month was $600. The month after that was 3,000. So like it's almost exponential growth.
Did you publish any more books, or was it just from those books?
No, I published 3 or 4 more books in that time. But to go from like, $20 from 2 books to 3,000 with 7 books.
So it went from 20, 600, 3,000. Yeah. So like anything that people ask, the proof is in the pudding. And if you're doing them kind of crazy numbers where you've what's that? That's like we're looking like over 1,000% the first month, and then you're looking at like a 500% increase after that. Yeah, is it that's like something I always look for? Is like if someone says, "Oh yeah, I can do this, this, and this with this," I'm like, okay, well, show me the numbers. Because it's all good and well. Like you can send, like for example, you can send Facebook traffic to your books, but what is the ROI on it? Will it actually make me money? It's one of the things. And if you show that habit, like just right there.
Absolutely. And this is something that it doesn't cost you money to do. Like you can write the description yourself.
Yeah.
Like it's not as if you have to hire some expensive copywriter to do the descriptions.
Yeah.
Like basically, if you know how to research and you know what to look for, like what your customers are really looking for.
Yeah.
Like the actual mechanics of writing aren't particularly difficult.
Yeah, 100%. In your courses, like even though I've got some copyright experience, I was like, things started to come back, and I started to notice things that I didn't notice before, and it's just like, yeah, it just all gels in. And like you say, like research, yeah, 100%.
Knowing your customers, like one of the big things I preach is that you don't have to be a good writer. Like you just need to really know how to research.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, I got that feeling from your course. That was the main point you were like kind of you're putting in there is research, and more research.
You think you've done enough? Do another 2 hours.
That's the one. But it's like you say, it's like if you're lazy with this aspect, it's like I'd say it's like foundation. Would you say it's the foundation? If you get a foundation, you can build the house.
That's exactly what it is. Like if you don't research, you just start making assumptions.
Yeah.
And as soon as you start making assumptions, then you're losing your customers, because you're not connecting with them anymore. You're connecting with what you think they want.
And yeah, that's I'd say that. Yeah. So all right. So if you entered a new niche now, how would you? Well, we kind of mentioned this before, but how would you go about outdoing the other books in that niche?
So I think a lot of times people are just like, I need to make bigger and bigger claims.
Yeah.
Like we won't use another weight loss example. Let's choose a make money example. Say if there's a book out there that says you can make $1 a month, what this like strategy is. And then so everyone else goes, okay, you can do $10,000, $100,000, $1 million. And like the believability just isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would just see, you can make $1,000 a month, but just focus on like $1,000 a month, or how like broke college kids can make $1,000 a month. And instead, just you're not making bigger claims. You're just focusing those claims on a different group of people, and that's much easier than just throwing out these big numbers, which most of the time customers aren't going to believe.
Yeah. So you make it relatable to that specific person.
Absolutely. Like relatability is so important. I think it's a thing that a lot of publishers completely miss. Like, especially if you're in any like make money niche, then you can't just throw out giant numbers and expect people to believe you. Like at the end of the day, unless you have an email list or like an audience built in, they haven't heard of your pen name 2 minutes ago. If you tell them they can make $1 million a month, then they're just not going to believe you.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Make it believable. So, this is, I'd say, another question a lot of people are kind of asking is like, when you go into like for the niche you're in, how many reviews does your book have compared to your competition in your main niche?
I have a lot less reviews than my competition in my main niche. I think one of some of the books have like a couple of hundred.
Yeah.
And then most of my books have less than 30.
Less than 30. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I just launched a new book, and I've got 5 reviews for the book. This is all organic. I haven't done any like kind of review swaps or anything.
Yeah,
reviews do that. And the book, it's going at 1 sale a day right now. I think it's still on the second page because I haven't done the first like free giveaway kind of thing. But it's quite intriguing to see how the cover and the title. I actually created this before your course, and then they changed the description recently, and I'm going to see how it's going to happen over the next few days. But it's one of the things where if you get the first 2 end things right, it doesn't really matter if you have fewer reviews, because people can see it's already got that social proof. If it has that little bit of social proof, people are happy.
There's I think I talked about this in my video with Emeka. Like, some Amazon customers will just buy the book with the most reviews. And like, that's completely fine. But the majority of them are still going to read the description. And so if your description is much better than the competition, you can still make sales with less reviews. Like I have books with like single digit reviews that still sell pretty well.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need these like these huge amounts of reviews.
Yeah, it was another example is like Marta Magdalena. She did some outside promotion, but at the same time, is her book launched with three or four reviews, and she makes consistent sales of, I think it's around 19 to 30,000 BSR, and she's constantly, making
That's
sales.
really good.
She's up to 21, 22 reviews now, but she's just basically steadily done it. And
yeah, just getting all those organic reviews.
Yeah. And what Amazon takes into account the reviews you get over time. So it's best not to get all the reviews at once. It's best to steadily get them reviews, because then Amazon's like, oh, it's got another review. Oh, it's got another review. Oh, it's getting popular. If you get them all at once, it's like, oh, Amazon sees something. sees something's a little bit off if you're getting like 30 reviews when it launches and you get no reviews afterwards. Amazon's like, what's going on?
I'm imagining Amazon's offices, that's exactly how it works. There's just a few guys going, oh, yeah.
Yeah, what's going on with that one? But like, that's like, I know we're going a little bit off the kind of copyright, but I feel that one of the things that Amazon sees is if your book has that promotion, yeah, you're going to have that spike in promotion, but then it goes down here. It's really going to affect. Amazon likes this kind of sale. They
like the consistency, yeah.
No, they don't like consistency. They're like, how can we say it? If your book starts here and then it does this, it stays more sales, more sales, more sales, more sales, more sales, more sales, more sales. Amazon's going to promote your book more. Because...
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
The reason for it is Amazon's saying, oh, actually this book, okay, it started off small, its promotion wasn't that good, but it's starting to have consistent growth. And Amazon sees that as, oh, this book is actually getting more. It's like word of mouth. It's like word of mouth. Yes. This is how I put it. It's like word of mouth. Amazon is like, oh, so it's like with your course. People are going to be like, okay, right now the circle's like this. More people are going to know it. Then more people are going to know it. Then more people are going to know it. And that's the same thing the Amazon algorithm works, is you don't want this. You want this.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. The way you phrased it.
That's exactly. If this is any tip someone could take away from me, sorry, I'm taking spotlight. This is the one thing.
So good, man.
This is the one thing you want to take away with the Amazon algorithm is you don't want to do this. You want to do this. So that's something else, test as well, because I'm currently testing this and I'll let everybody know my results. But from all the fiction authors, this is what they do. So
yeah, it's definitely a more viable long-term strategy.
Well, it's not just that. It's in the launch phase. It's in the launch phase. It's not in the launch phase. The first 2 weeks you have to do this, and then afterwards, okay, Amazon takes over.
Yeah.
But, anyway, back into the copyright. So we've got over the reviews. So so in your opinion, if someone changes, let's say their title and their description, like to something which is more copy driven, what effect could this potentially have on their book?
I mean, you could go from 0 sales a day to, these huge numbers that people talk about. Like, your book could literally be selling absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
It's the exact same keyword. And then you could be going to 10 sales a day, for example. Like, it really is. It's just a switch. Like, it's night and day.
Just from a small tweak in like the title or description, that's what you're saying.
Absolutely. Like, if you go from the same book as everyone else to small change, unique selling point, then instantly you've differentiated, and you put a little bit of curiosity in your description. Yeah. You solve a little bit of problems. Yeah. You get that emotional response. Like, you can go from 0 sales to 10 sales a day. Yeah.
The way you kind of put it across is like, if people think about this as a landing page.
Yes.
Because on a landing page, to actually get the best and optimal results, you first change the title, see what effect it has. Then you change the picture and see if that changes anything. It's harder to split test on Amazon, but you can change that thing. So it's harder to split test because you don't have two going at the same time.
Yeah.
But, like you say, it's like you can just up. So
as soon as Amazon gives us access to split test anything, that's going to be the best day of my life. Well,
there was this I watched this one video, I think it's Tom Tom Corson knows. I think it's him or it's someone else. Where somebody it's like paid a company to actually do a heat map of Amazon. So what they did is they hooked people up to these like machines that had like a camera, and they looked where their eyes went. And
cool.
It was really surprising that on the sales page they didn't look at the book cover. On the on the sales page, a lot of them looked at the description.
Oh yeah.
Description. It was I think it was, if I remember rightly, description. I think it's buy button. Some of them hovered over, but didn't go, and then they scrolled down. Some of them looked at the reviews, but it was really surprising that majority of them looked at the description in this heat map thing. I'll try and find it and link in the description below.
It's a great video, actually. I need to check that out.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, but because Amazon wouldn't give the stats, this was something that they did, is they just hired, I think it was like 20 people just to go in and look at this book page.
That is exactly it. Once they click on the book page itself, the cover almost becomes redundant.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really matter what's on the cover. The cover is for the, people searching for that keyword.
Yeah.
But once they're on the book page itself, like, I think very, very few customers are going to say, yeah, okay, it's the cover. I'm going to buy the book because it's got a really nice cover.
Yeah.
Especially an ebook.
Yeah, they do.
No one's going to see the cover.
Yeah, like on my bookshelf ones is like, I'm right now, I just looked at my bookshelf, and the first one, okay, it's kind of a thick book. The first one that came out to me is the 4-Hour Body, because I don't know, it's just like, it's the biggest one, and it's the one that stands out kind of one. But at the same time, I'm just reading the title. I'm just reading the titles and seeing which one stands out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The 4-Hour Workweek and the 4-Hour Body, it's a great title.
Yeah. Yeah, he had something different before that. What was the title he had before that? It was something.
I want to say it was How to Sell Drugs and Get Away with It.
That's the one.
And then I think it was the publishing company said to him, like, we can't have it.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. All right, so going over the copyright stuff, let's go into your course.
Yes.
Let's go into the course, the money. So, all right, first question. All right, so why did you create the course?
I created the course because I was speaking to some other publishers, and the penny dropped. The bell dropped. It's not an analogy. The penny dropped. That, like, okay, like, there are things that I know, like, from my background, that A, people don't know, and B, like, aren't taught in other courses. Like, it's not a beginner's course.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a beginner's publishing course. It's purely, like, in-depth, like, how to research your customers, and then, like, the mechanics of creating, like, a compelling book title and a description that people read all the way down.
You're saying it's got all this kind of the technical stuff, like titles, descriptions, all this kind of stuff. Don't newbie publishers need this kind of stuff to basically help their books?
Yeah, when I say it's not a beginner's course, I mean, like, there's not lessons on how to upload your book to CreateSpace, for example. Anyone can get value from this. Like, whether you have no books out right now,
yeah.
Like, we actually have a student enrolled, and he hasn't published a book yet.
Yeah.
He just wants to do everything the right way the first time.
Okay, yeah.
And then if you're an experienced publisher, you can get a ton of value as well, because there's probably things in there, like slight edges, that you just don't know about.
Yeah, well, I'd say it's like the way you've broken down the copywriting in relation to, how can I say it, into book publishing, copywriting for book publishing. It's been really orientated towards that, because copywriting is such a complex subject that if you read something like, let's say, cash advertising, you're going to get them lessons, but it's not going to be specifically orientated or specifically for publishing. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, what I tried to do in every single lesson was relate it back to self-publishing. So I'll give examples for like non-publishing ideas, but then at the end of the day, everything reverts back to Amazon book descriptions, Amazon book titles, how to research your customers for an Amazon book.
Yeah.
Because that's what people really want. Like, people aren't buying this course to become a better copywriter. they're buying this course. They will become a better copywriter by design, but they're buying this course because they want to increase their book sales.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, 100%. I can say personally, like, I just took the course and I was like, oh crap, my description for this book is horrible. So I'm going back through all of my descriptions now to actually improve even my title and like book covers. I'm going to see what effect it has on it. Because like you say, the research is key. And like for like the book that I did, I just did a bit of research on Amazon from the ones you mentioned in your course. And I'll just like idea. And I actually used some of the words that somebody said in their review in my copy. Because that's so good.
That's a big part of it. Like, this is how people really talk. Like, this is how people can relate to you.
Yeah.
It's so simple once you get the hang of it.
Yeah, 100%. So really, do you have anything final to say to anybody about your course or copywriting or anything about that?
I would say if you want to increase your Kindle income to a level that, you know, will change your life, will make you infinitely happier, will give you that freedom you've been looking for, then my course will help you get to that level. Because this is something, and Michael, I think you'll agree with this is something that is not in any other Kindle course.
No, I've taken a few and it's not covered. So
you will have these books that sell, not just a big spike at the start, like they will get sales over months and months and even years. Mm-hmm. Because a good description, it doesn't fade. It doesn't fade in the algorithm like, you know, the spike in reviews might. Like, it's going to stay there forever. Like, and people are going to find your book organically.
Yeah. And
even if it's not on page 1 or 2, there's customers that are going to go on page 3 or 4, and they'll find your book and they're going to buy your book.
Yeah. So if anybody's interested in Ollie's course, go to freshbelief.com/Kindle 10x. And, you know, I'll have some bonuses for you as well. They'll be appearing on the screen. And yeah, so Ollie, thank you very much for your time. This has been great. This has been a nice talk. I love speaking with a fellow Brit and fellow copywriter.
Always a pleasure, Michael. Thanks very much. Right.
All right. Thank you.